I think my mum was probably the biggest influence on my career as a child growing up. Following an incident where she sadly fell down the stairs and couldn't feel her legs and wasn't feeling at all well, myself and my brother called 999 and an amazing ambulance crew came out and just were amazing with my mum, my brother and me, and from that moment on I think that I always knew that I wanted to be a paramedic. I think thinking about the challenges that I've faced throughout my education and career, I think probably the hardest part of it all was being a young female paramedic back when I sort of first started with the ambulance service. I definitely think that there were more challenges and difficult interpersonal challenges that came from being a young female in a predominantly older male world. However, I think that lots has changed within the ambulance services across the country, which is definitely making it a more inclusive and supportive working place to be, which is obviously a great thing. I've actually had a really exciting career journey. I started off obviously on the ambulances, working as a paramedic, which I absolutely loved. But a few years after I qualified, I was given the amazing opportunity to go and work in a South London emergency department, working mainly in the resus units, which gave me such an incredible experience of looking after a huge amount of critically unwell medical and trauma patients. And I think through my experience with that, I really wanted to get back working pre-hospital and combine those two passions of pre-hospital and sort of critical care medicine, which led me here to GWAAC. For me personally, I am lucky not to feel like I haven't had any challenges relating to my gender when it comes to me being at work. I think, however, in the bigger world of femme, I definitely think that females are underrepresented in pre-hospital medicine, and I think that there's a huge scope for us to be more supportive, both of female paramedics and female doctors and nurses wanting to get into pre-hospital critical care. Do I think that there could be more female representation in HEMS? Yes, absolutely. What can we do to help more females get into FEM? I mean, the guys that I work with on the unit here actually have been a huge part of trying to encourage that locally. Dr. Andy Lockyer and Dr. Nikki Moore have run 2 Fem in Fem days over the last few years, which I know have been a huge support to lots of the doctors wanting to get onto the Fem training programme. And I think that we need to be actively doing more things like that, providing more training and experience opportunities, and just generally just being supportive to any colleague that wants to take this career path. Oh, there are so many incredibly rewarding aspects to our role here at the unit. I guess something that I haven't really experienced in any way at all like I do here would be being able to meet former patients and their families, because they come for base visits and we get, you know, time set aside to spend with them and to hear things from their side, which is incredibly special and important. I think talking about sort of what we can do on scene that really makes a difference. I feel that being able to give advanced analgesia and sort out patients' pain to a much higher level is probably one of the most rewarding things that we can do. Relieving suffering is an incredible feeling, and it's very rewarding, and being able to go home knowing that you've helped someone so well. I guess the biggest piece of advice that I would have would be go out and do the training and education that you enjoy, because it will probably be stuff relating to resuscitation, critical care, and just sort of enhanced patient management in the pre-hospital environment. Please do everything that you can to engage in any pre-hospital clinical governance that any of your local air ambulances may support. And I know from a GWAAC perspective, we're running our GWAAC outreach days and education evenings, which hopefully will be another extra thing to add to your experience and education to help build your portfolio.